Hey, welcome back. My name's Connor Benham. I own wellfedbusiness.com with the Evil Genius, and you're going to be watching a clip from our podcast, the Well-Fed Business Podcast. In this clip, we're going to be covering the deadly mistakes business owners are making and what to do about it. We're going to be covering why cutting your prices is utter bollocks, the same as being authentic, and things such as the customer is always right. We're going to be talking about the opinions of other people and why at a certain size of business you shouldn't listen to them. And then lastly, talking about positioning, how to position your company properly, raising your prices and all of that jazz. Enjoy the clip.
Here's the thing: I have a rule on all my sales calls, and let's make no bones about it. That's what they are. On all my sales calls, the part of the promise before we even get on the call is I won't try to sell you anything unless you ask me to. And on every call, that's what they do. I will get them to ask me, and there's no trick, there's no manipulation. I just will out and out ask them, "What do you want me to do?" And they'll say, "I want you to tell me about your solution." Okay, fine, thanks. You know. So, if anyone listening to this believes that's unethical, I think you probably need to go and see a therapist or something, really, because you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from that, about this reluctance to do what they need to do, and this belief that people don't want to buy, and it's a grudge purchase, and it's a zero-sum game. That's another mistake they make, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big one. That's a really big one.
What that leads to, inevitably, is two things. The first, in terms of your prices, it inevitably leads to people cutting their prices because they think the price is the most important thing. And the second thing, and again, these two... Go on.
Why would you cut your prices? I
wouldn't, but
logically, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you self-inflict such a wound onto what most people call their baby, which is their business?
I think most people don't understand how much damage a price cut does. I'm not going to go through the maths here, but if you go say 35% markup, which is pretty decent, especially in, say, IT sales or something. 35% markup, 10% discount, it takes 40% off your profit. I don't think people understand that. They think that 10% is reflected as a 10% cut in their profit, which might be sustainable, but it's not. It's 4 times that, which is probably not. If you've been, and this is something we hear quite a lot. People will say we've not raised our prices for at least 10 years. That's incredibly common. Well, if you haven't raised your prices for 10 years in the UK, inflation means your profits have been decimated by about 80 something percent. That's just without everything else going on because of inflation, the compound effect of inflation, So it's quite scary.
Silly billies. It's like people are just almost thinking about, they're almost asking the wrong question. They're asking, how do I get more business? Not how do I make more money?
Yeah.
And they think, well, more business automatically equals more money. It's silly. It's like wanting your child to go to sleep and then giving them half a litre of whiskey. It'll put them to sleep all right, but not quite in the way that you'd expect.
I'm not quite sure where you got the analogy from, but it's a funny one.
I was just thinking, I don't know where it came from. Probably some childhood trauma. I've always wondered why I've had a taste for whiskey. Trauma. Childhood.
Childhood. Yeah, product prices. But of course, this is all fed into because people they're almost marketing by committee, aren't they? But it's worse. They're marketing by echo chamber. A very common thing is you'll see, say,
FOMO.
Yeah, you see people posting, say, on LinkedIn, asking, "How do I do this? How do I solve this problem?" And they'll invite opinions from their fellow, freelancers, photographers, whatever they are. And these people they're asking for advice haven't solved the problem themselves. They've got an opinion, but they've got no experience in solving it. And they do this because it's cheaper than paying us. But it ain't. It really isn't.
Yeah, they don't see how expensive ignorance is.
No. I mean, we've had, never mind the sales we've made, but we've had stellar successes with our clients recently, haven't we? We got one yesterday morning. He copied my sales method. Didn't even have to teach it to him. He just looked at it, did a couple of things the same, and made 33K, filled his mastermind. Or was it a program, whatever it was, a course? Filled it, and we haven't had to teach him anything yet.
Yeah. Well, it was literally, he had a sales call with you. He then had an hour-long game plan session with myself where we looked at his product line, shuffled it around, looked at his prices, because he was like, I already know I have to put my prices up. He knew the rules. You know, if you want to enter the club, the rule is you have to put your prices up. So he's like, I'm already going to put them up. Just how do I lay it out? We put his products in order. He's gone away and he's put 10 people into his first cohort. That's 33K clean profit.
It's the first step of 3 on the ladder,
Clean
as well,
profit.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it is, all he's done is spend an hour with us. Really, 2 hours, an hour with you, an hour with me. He's gone away, ran with it. 33K.
It's almost like our shit works, you know.
Almost, and it's almost like asking fewer questions and doing more doing has an impact too.
Can you imagine some of the people we've dealt with over the years doing that? I can't. One in particular.
No.
Can you imagine him doing that?
No. Some people need whips and chains and the promise of torture to actually do something.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, kinky. Yeah, the promise of torture, not the threat.
Kinky, don't knock it, mate, until you've tried it. So, I've actually been going through my. This is a little secret for you. I've been going through my. Well, not for you, but for listeners. I've been going through my LinkedIn account because I'm doing some stuff, and I need to cleanse my list to make things runs a bit smoother. So I've been unfollowing people who are not suitable potential clients for us. So basically, it's. Here's a good example. Anyone who's, say, in branding. So anyone who says they're a brand consultant or a brand expert, I immediately just unfollow and disconnect, because there's no way they're ever going to be in our world. I wouldn't want them because they're selling bollocks. They're selling bullshit. And they wouldn't like us either. We would be a complete mismatch on both sides. But the interesting thing is, these people come to my attention in my newsfeed because I see they're a first connection, and it's the sheer inanity of what they're posting, which causes me to look and say, who's fucking talking about? Who's saying this nonsense? Oh, it's a brand consultant. Okay, off you go. And it's amusing because it's like watching, I don't know. It's like watching some fat person on an ice rink trying to stand up. It's tragic, but also amusing. You know? It's tragic, but amusing. And they are hopeless. They are forever hopeless and helpless and hapless. But what's worse is what they're selling is going to help their clients not at all. There's one or two people who are doing the right thing. But most of them are just saying, oh, your brand is the most important thing. No, it fucking isn't. But because so many people are saying it, it becomes gospel truth. It's what everybody knows to be true. It's marketing. It's what Dan Kennedy called it, marketing incest. And just like with real incest, after a period of time, everyone starts to look the same, and everyone gets stupider and stupider. But it's true. It's fucking tragic.
6 toes and 4 fingers.
Yeah, one eye in the middle of the fucking forehead, like Cyclops, you know.
Looking like a Futurama show. Have you ever seen Futurama?
I've not even seen E.T., and that's probably, 35, 40 years old.
You've never seen E.T.?
No interest.
Seen The Simpsons?
No.
Never seen The Simpsons?
No. I mean, obviously I know what they are. You ever seen Beavis and Butthead?
Family Guy?
I've seen.
Of course, I've seen Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis
What
and
do I
Butthead
look
are
like?
fucking hilarious. You look a bit like Beavis,
They're
actually.
pretty funny. And you look a bit like Butthead.
That could be. Never mind, good cop, bad cop. It could be Beavis and Butthead sales techniques. Oh, if only the listeners knew what we were talking about. So, it's.
Oh God.
If you could only take away one thing from us today or any other time, please, when you look at social media marketing, the way it's being done, realise that's majority behaviour. And as Earl Nightingale said, the majority is always wrong. And this isn't just one of those pithy fucking self-development phrases that people come out with. The evidence is out there because most people struggle in business. So clearly what the majority of people are doing in business isn't effective in terms of sales and marketing. So if you do the same things they do, you will on balance get the same, within reason, the same kind of results. So if you want to get better results, you've got to do something different. If you don't know what to do different, then either ask someone who's an expert who can tell you what to do different, or at the very least, just do anything. Just do something different. Toss a fucking coin, but just don't do the same as everyone else, please.
That's mathematics. Even EBG can understand. So well done, mate. Proud of you there.
Thanks.